Hello everyone, it's me, Miss McCall or Nicole, whichever you prefer to call me, and welcome to another edition of Interactive Fiction Adventure Club. This one, we're going to be exploring Cinderella. So we know Cinderella, the traditional fairy tale, but this one takes Cinderella and puts her out in to space. So it's I think that's one of the different versions of it, but basically this one will take you to 3 different versions of it. If this is your first Interactive Fiction Adventure Club, we're going to be reading a book and we're going to not go from cover to cover. We're going to go to a certain spot, stop, and then we'll have to make a decision. Since you're not here in the building to help me make the decision, I'm going to be using this. When we get a 1, 3, and 5, which are our odd numbers, we're going to do the top choice. And when we get 2, 4, and 6, those are our even numbers. We're going to do the bottom choice. So let's get started. I'm going to read you a little bit of the background and we'll see how it goes. About your adventure. You're exhausted. You're always being worked to the bone and you're treated cruelly. You see it, no glimmer of hope until one day a chance for escape comes in the form of an invitation. But getting yourself to a big event is just the beginning of the adventure. In this fairy tale, you control your fate. Brush the ashes off yourself and take charge. You make the choices to determine what happens next with a little help from your fairy godparent. Chapter 1 sets the scene, then you choose which path to read. Follow directions at the bottom of the page as you read the stories. The decisions you make will change your outcome. After you finish one path, go back and read the others for new perspectives and more adventures. Chapter 1, A Chance to Escape. You are tired after a long day of work. When you open the door at your home, ready to rest your aching body, you're greeted by your 2 step-siblings. It's not a friendly greeting. Polish my shoes, one of them shouts. Mend my socks, the other commands. And make me some supper. I'm starving. And take out the trash. It smells worse than you do. You sigh. Life with them isn't easy now that your father is gone. Many years ago, after your mother died, your father married a woman with 2 children. At first, you were happy to have playmates. The children weren't very nice to you, but your father made things bearable. But over the years, you learned just how mean and rotten your step-siblings are. And they got meaner as they grew older. They ordered you around, stole your things, and blamed you when they did something wrong. Then your father died too, and you became nothing more than a servant in your own home. Your stepmother was no help at all. Now you go to the kitchen to make dinner. As you cook, you dream of a different life, a life without your wicked family, a life where you are appreciated and loved. Maybe someday you'll have a chance to escape. So there are 3 different choices: a modern-day girl living in a city, to be a young man in a medieval fairy tale, or to be a girl in a futuristic space society. So we're going to roll. So I got a 6, so we're going to be choosing between the bottom 2 choices, which is to be a young man in a medieval fairy tale or to be a girl in a futuristic space society. We got a 6 again, so we're going to go with being a girl in a futuristic space society. Drella in space. My ship is broken down again, your stepsister Quinn complains. Fix it. Sighing, you step out the door of your space hut to take a look. You know just how to fix it, and soon the engine purrs to life. You wonder how she manages to break her spaceship all the time. She was one of the best ships on the planet of Quag. Your other stepsister, Jilly, had one too, until she crashed it playing bumper ships with her friends. Bumper ships, you shake your head in disgust. Even though the girls are so careless, your stepmother keeps buying them new ships. Jilly's will be delivered any day now. After you fix Quinn's ship, you look at the sky, watching spaceships whiz and whir. You long to join them, but you have too much work to do at your job as a space mechanic. Maybe later you can buzz around in an old black and orange ship you finally named Jack-O-Lantern. You're one of the best and youngest pilots on the planet. Your dream is to become royal pilot of the planet Farah, but you don't know how you'll ever achieve the dream. Quinn steps at the door of her space hut. Have you fixed it yet? She demands. Yes, you tell her. You really need to learn not to grind the gear. Whatever, she interrupts, pushing past you and climbing into the ship. She grinds the gears as she starts the engine. You sigh. Just then, a hologram appears. Attention, all the kingdom of Cinderella, the king booms. The prince was in need of a new pilot. A competition to select winner will be held tomorrow on Farah. Tomorrow, your mind races. This is a chance to achieve your dreams. But first, you have a lot to work on. A lot of work to do on Jacko to get ready. Quinn hops out of your spaceship. Did you hear that? I'm going to audition you. You glare at her. She doesn't want to be a royal pilot. She just wants to cozy up with the prince. You head towards Jacko. Wait, you have to help get my ship ready. If you don't help her, your stepmother might take away your flying privileges. But you don't have time to help Quinn fix Jacko. So are we going to help Quinn or are we going to fix Jacko? 3, which is an odd number. So we're going to help Quinn. You work all night fixing Quinn's spaceship until the sun it shines and glides. She doesn't even thank you before speeding off towards Farah the next morning. You take another look at Jacko and sigh. You never make it to the competition now. Another hologram appears in front of you. This time, it's your godmother, Lara. She lives 2 planets away, but often pops up to check on you. She peers through the hologram. Is that you, Drella? Did you hear the king's announcement, dear? Of course you did. Well, I heard you help Quinn, and that's wonderful, though. I can't imagine what she's thinking. That girl can't even take off without ruining the transmission. Anyway, dear, I have a present for you. Just a little magic trick I pulled up. Magic trick, you ask? Magic, like abracadabra, she says. She closes her eyes and thinks, oh, abra, he says. She chants, cadabra. Lara opens her eyes. Ta-da, she sings. Nothing happened. You tell her, trying not to giggle. Turn around, dear. You turn around to see Jacko is gone. A fabulous new spaceship is in place. Wow, you whisper. It's a Carriage 5000, the fastest ship ever invented. You run your hands across the spaceship's sleek side. Good luck at the competition, Lara says. But beware, the spell wears off at midnight and Jacko will be back. Oh, and here's a spare key. Don't lose it. She tosses a sparkly glass key through the hologram and it disappears. You climb into the Carriage 5000 and zoom off. You've never flown outside of Quag's orbit. You're busy enjoying all the bells and whistles of the new ship when you realize you might be lost. Up ahead, you see lights on another spaceship. You could stop and ask the pilot for directions or keep going on your own. So we're going to ask for directions or keep going. We got a 1, so we are going to ask for directions. As you approach the spaceship, you see it is a fantasy cruiser, one of the newest ships on the market. You've never seen one in person before. You hover next to it and send a radio signal. Do you know the way to Farah, you ask? The pilot's muffled voice responds through a speaker. I can plug your route into the navigation system, the pilot says. The voice is familiar, but you can't place it. But I need to board your ship. You're not sure if you should trust a strange pilot, but you need to get the directions to Farah or you'll miss the contest. So are we going to allow the pilot to board the ship or are we going to find our own way? 5, we are going to allow the pilot to board the ship. You don't see what choice you have if you want to get to the contest on time. You send the space ladder to the Fantasy and the pilot crawls across the ship. The pilot is wearing full spacesuit and a helmet covering her face. You stand back as the pilot fiddles your controls. There you go, the pilot says in an oddly deep voice, then climbs back into the ladder and to the Fantasy and zooms away. You sit back and let the navigation system take over. You pass the planet after planet. You expect to see a lot of traffic heading towards Farah, but strangely you don't see any. You study the galaxy maps and your final destination Farah, but you discover you are a long way away. Your radio crackles. Enjoying the view, says the deep voice in the other end. It's the strange fantasy pilot. Then your voice breaks into a familiar high-pitched laugh. Jilly, you realize she's the strange pilot all along in her brand new fantasy cruiser. You sabotaged me, you cry, but the radio has clicked off. You fiddle with the controls. Navigation locked, an automated voice tells you. Groaning, you realize you might not make it to the Farah in the time for the competition. All you can do is wait. At last, you see Farah. As soon as you come closer, sparkling palaces appear. Farah is beautiful. The competition is already underway. You quickly dock in the ship and find the nearest royal official. I'd like to add my name to the competition, you tell him. You're awfully late, he taps. I'll add your name, but there might not be time for you. You see Quinn waiting for her turn to compete, and you watch the others fly the course. They're not good at all. You can win for sure. But then again, Quinn could beat these pilots as long as she doesn't kill her engine. She just might win if you don't get a chance to fly. Julie's trick on you sparked an idea. You could sabotage Quinn's controls. That way, Quinn definitely won't win. But you're not sure if you want to stoop to their stepsister's level. So we're going to sabotage Quinn, or we're going to wait our turn. 6, which is even, so we're going to go with our bottom choice. So we're going to wait our turn. You wait your turn and watch Quinn perform. You don't think she'll do very well after all. You know what a horrible pilot she is, but she surprises you by whizzing through the obstacle course with ease. Then, just before she goes back for a landing, she launches into a backward quadruple loop. Your mouth drops open. The backward quadruple is your very own special trick. She must have watched you do it back on Quag, and now she has copied you. When it's your turn to fly, you're not sure what to do. You could perform a special trick yourself, but then you'll look like a copycat. You try a new trick instead, but you're not sure if you'll be able to pull it off. So what are we going to do? Are we going to try to perform the same trick, or are we going to try to do a new one? All right, so we have a 4. So we're going to try to do a new trick. I don't know. You make it home safe. Did I do this wrong? Oh, yes, I did. You perform a new trick, a triple left loop-de-loop, and although it goes okay, Quinn's quadruple was better. You try not to cry as the cling declares Quinn the winner, but as you turn away, dejected, someone taps you on the shoulder. Miss, a man in a royal attire says. He introduces himself as Prince Charles from the parish Schmick. I couldn't help but be glad that you didn't win this contest, because I really was hoping that you'll come fly for me, he says. He tells you he wants you to be a pilot on his royal space fleet. Then he shows you his brand new Fortress spacecraft. When can I start, you ask, overjoyed. The end. So that is one ending of this one. I'm actually up. There's 23 endings. So we just did one ending of this. So if you're interested maybe in seeing one of the other paths that Cinderella imagines herself in, or seeing what you could do if she did end up sabotaging Quinn, you can check this out from us and explore the other endings. All you have to do is click stop by the library or click on the link in the description, and you can place a hold on this. All right, well, that is it for this version of, this session of Interactive Fiction Adventure Club. I hope to see you at some point, and next time you're in the library, say hello. Bye.